So yeah, I'm back doing Roblox videos again after like 5 million years or so. Hey guys, welcome back to the coolest channel on YouTube. And today I am showing you what I have built in Piggy build mode, which I have basically built the first 4 FNaF games in Piggy build mode. I'm going to show you what they look like. Before we start, I just like to say I have a cold right now, so that's why my voice might sound all weird. And also comment down below what you think of the new video style. So, let's finally get into it. Now, immediately, well, you might wonder, also just for FNaF 1 if you're wondering, uh, the little boxes on the top, they are the cameras, which basically I use a teleporter to teleport above into that box up there, above all of them, which basically has all of the teleporters and a little camera map, which we use to teleport above the ceiling, and that's where the cameras are. And the reason why the roof is going out is because of shadow blocks to make it as dark as possible. Okay, so now we're on the inside of the building. So this is the office, which basically has the timer in the corner, so you know how long you have to wait until it's over. There's also sound blocks and powered sound blocks, which are used to obviously have sound. Uh, on the outside we have the lights on the hallway, and then the reason so we have 3 buttons. Well, obviously to close the door and the light. The bottom button is to actually get rid of the floor. Because if I go on the outside of the door, you will see there are powered blocks, whatever. So when you press the button, have like on the not gate, so it'll be reverse the actions of it, which will open it up, and underneath these blocks are actually a portal, so that the piggies can't just camp the doors, which you'll be set in behind the stage. There's a hidden room, which when you fall through the floor, you'll go through these portals that'll bring you into here, and then you press a button and that'll open up the wall for like 5 seconds, and then you come back out, and it's the exact same on each side. And then in here we have the closet, which kind of does, simple. And the windows are used as the cameras, so you can actually look through to see the obviously use cameras. Here is the main dining room, and over here is Pirate's Cove with Foxy that says, sorry, out of order. And then over here in this room is the parcel service, well, it's employees only room, which is the metal endoskeleton and the spare heads that are just there in the game as well. And then finally, we also stage first, and then finally we have the bathrooms, which I use like little tables as like the pizzas on the side of the wall, and yeah, so that is the complete FNaF 1 location. But we're not done yet. We have the camera map, which basically shows all the entire mini map that you'd see on the cameras in the actual game, and the portals there for when you go through them, you'll go into the cameras. So this one in the corner right here, this one is actually linked to that one right there. Basically, when you go through it, you'll go to that portal, and you'll look through that camera. And the reason why there's so many invisible blocks is because you can actually see there's a little bit of a, it's kind of elevated a bit, the little white bits of it, so that's kind of just to make sure you're not like going up and down and bumping on it all the time. So now we're going to go into actual like gameplay and all the sounds, so let's go that now.
Hello? Hello? Well, if you're hearing this and you made it to day 2, congrats. I won't talk quite as long this time since Freddy and his friends tend to become more active as the week progresses. It might be a good idea to peek at those cameras while I talk, just to make sure everyone's in their proper place, you know. Interestingly enough, Freddy himself doesn't come off stage very often. I've heard he becomes a lot more active in the dark, though, so, hey, I guess...
Now with FNaF 1 out of the way, it's time to move on to FNaF 2, which is way bigger, but it's probably my least favorite to work on. I just don't like it that much. So, if you're wondering why that's so dark, because even the cameras, the entire roof, and even the roofs in the cameras are all shadow blocks, because FNaF 2 is extremely dark. But using lights, basically, you press a button inside of the camera map, the room you're in, it turns on the lights. So these lights are not on in the actual gameplay, it's basically just all dark, except for your office, which you need to use the buttons in the cameras to turn on the lights. It's like so extremely dark. And here we have the partner service room, with Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy all in it. If we continue down this hallway, we'll get into the main party room, which is extremely dark, um, because there's not many lights in this room. But over here we have Mango's room and the prize counter. We have Balloon Boy and the little carousel. And yeah, we're back to the office, which we also have sound blocks. And now we also have the camera map, like FNaF 1. We have the vents, we have each room with all the cameras, the exact same as FNaF 1 basically. And now, after the camera map, there's one thing that you're thinking that, how am I gonna do this? And that is the mask. But a way I found out how to do the mask was basically just to obviously have the room done with the little breathing sound effect, and a portal that goes from the office that you can so only players can go into it because it's you need to crouch to go into it, so piggies can't go into it. And so to make sure the players don't stay in there forever, there's a chasing a hand event. That basically, the second you enter the portal, it'll basically track you and pick you up and then send you back to the office. So now let's show some gameplay. Now, thirdly, we have FNaF 3, which is probably my favorite one to work on, mainly because it isn't that like hard, but isn't as simple. So it's not like it's gonna take like 5 minutes to build. No, I had lots of fun building it. I used the help wanted versions for building all of these maps. So that's why some of these stuff didn't appear in the original version on Click Team, but in Help Wanted they did. So over here we have the box where the toys would be. We have the timer right there in the window. We have the Freddy stand right here, where the little Freddy thing would be. Then down this hallway, we have the hallway where Bonnie's things at the end. But because the shadow blocks are so dark right there, and because there's no windows that are bringing in light, you can barely even see it. And then up there we have the portals, obviously from the cameras. We have the Foxy stand right here. It's only a head in the game, but it's a head on the wall, which I literally had no idea how to do that at all. I don't even think it's possible in this game. Then we go down this hallway. We have the arcade room, And then over here we had some of the presents and Chica's head. And then finally we had the final hallway where Springtrap is at the start of the night. And then in here we have the vents, which right here we actually have a button inside the little camera room for them, which if you press the button, it will close the vents like an actual game. So if the piggy or animatronics coming down this way, you can just seal the vent. And then if we go up through, and if when we're actually playing, we go to the cameras. Up here is the camera map, which that's where we just were right there. Now, in here, I built the entire vent map, including the regular map, so it looks a bit weird, um, but it looks very cool, and also easy to make, because every hallway is like the exact same size, so every single camera is working, including the vent cameras, and now, as well as like every single other one as well, there's also invisible barrier blocks as well. And then, if you know something, there's a button in the cameras, which if you press them, it will power on that sound block, which will be shown what sound it makes, and when in a few minutes, well, seconds, whatever, when the gameplay starts. So let's go to the game.
Hello? Hello?
Finally, we have FNaF 4, which was the easiest one to work on, mainly because it has no camera map, and it's only two hallways and the bedroom. So, the hallways and basically the rest of the place is just extremely dark. Because obviously in FNaF 4, it's extremely dark, and you have to use a flashlight for, obviously, light. The closet has the wall it's opening up, so you can actually go through into the bedroom. But there's one problem, is that they make the way so I have to use invisible touch blocks like this, so when you go over to the door, it'll power on the other two. That the door, the opposite one you're at, so they'll stay open, but the one you're at will close. So it's so annoying. Before this video ends, I want to show you guys on what happens when the timer in your office, whatever map you're in, runs out. So basically, above the office, I have the little timer that I use, obviously, in every map. That basically, yeah, connects to the digital display. I'm going to change the timer from 360 seconds to 5 seconds, and then play, and I'll show you guys what happens when the timer runs out. Thank you guys for watching this video, and it took like a lot of time to make. It's my first time like really doing actual editing, so sorry it's kind of a bit bad. But if you are like a true FNaF fan, you should know what game comes next. Basically after FNaF 4, and that game is